Hey everybody, welcome back to Cruise Control. It is Monday, November 27th, 2023. Welcome to Cruise Control, the home of entertainment news. I am your host, as always, Brian Kruse. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, had a great time, ate some turkey, hung out with some friends and some family, and just had a blast because I know most of us did. At least, hopefully, most of us did because it goes by way too fast. It really does. But we're back here. Sorry we're off on Friday. Took a little downtime, a little R&R. But I'm so happy to be back here on Monday. And of course, I am back with I'm going to say it, my lovely co-host.
Ooh, that's nice.
Mr. Mike Casey. Mike, welcome back to Cruise Control. How you doing tonight, Mike?
That's an upgrade. I kind of balk at the intellectual of the show. I don't know if I agree with that, but I am lovely. So thank you for acknowledging that, Brian. It's great to be here. It's great to be here on a Monday. We got great guests. I'm excited. Yeah. Hey GR. Hey Queen in the chat. Love to have you guys here. Hey Ty.
You good Thanksgiving, Mike?
I did. It was interesting. I didn't eat any turkey. I don't eat any turkey on Thanksgiving. It's a dry bird, a trash bird. Kind of. I don't have good turkey ever, really, so I just gave up on it.
Mike doesn't want that dry trash bird.
Trash bird.
Well, I'm happy you had a good time, though, still. I had a little turkey, too. It was a bit too moist for me sometimes. You go out to a restaurant and sometimes it's too moist, so I'm saying. Anyways, also back on Cruise Control, everybody, our friend and yours, Mr. Ronald, Todd, Woodward. Ron, how you doing, man? How's your holidays? How you been? Welcome back to Cruise Control.
I'm doing great. I hate the word moist.
I know most people do. I'm like, oh, Sabrina be shaking right now if she heard me. She'd be pissed.
She would.
Like, Brian, stop right now. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was nice. It was quiet. Maybe a little too quiet.
Yeah, that happens too. I feel you. Mine was pretty quiet too, Ron. Sometimes you need that once in a while, right? The whole hoopla and the over-the-top stuff can be a lot, but it is fun to be with family and friends if you can. But it also is good to take some downtime.
Very true.
Yeah,
very true.
Yeah. And everybody in the chat, I see a bunch of people. Queen, GR, you two drinking already? I don't know who he's talking about. What are you talking about, GR? Because I said moist. Calm down. But also joining us back on Cruise Control, everybody, our friend over there at IPA Sessions Podcast, the host and creator of it all, Mr. K. Jacob. Welcome back to Cruise Control. How you doing, Jacob?
Hey, thank you. Happy to be back. I love being here. It's fun. And I agree with Mike. It's I don't care for that trash bird. It's all about that fat, succulent, juicy ham. That's where I'm at. All about that ham. And I'm still working off my meal. It was fantastic. Oh.
Well, you had some good food then. It's good ham?
Oh, it was good ham. I made it myself. I used Mama's recipe. It was great.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm getting better. I can cook a little bit.
Hey man, we're adults, right? We're adults. We're making dreams come true. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, I have to feed myself now. It's kind of fucked up, but whatever. It is what it is.
Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here too, joining us, Jacob. It's just, It's been too long. Usually he was becoming a Monday thing once in a while, so I'm happy to have him back on a Monday.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. We had to take a little holiday break, or I had to take a little holiday break. So, business is starting up because the strike is over. I saw that you guys covered that. Great job. Yep. We single-handedly ended the strike. Good job, Brian. Good job.
Good work.
I don't know if it's been voted in yet. Has it finally been voted?
It has not been. No, it has not been. And that whole thing over the weekend, so they have until December 5th to actually vote. It's all digital this time. And people are rolling out. There's a big movement to vote no. There's a pretty big movement. And
hey, if it doesn't feel right, don't vote for it. I feel you.
I know. What's up? Yeah. Welcome back, Kato. Turkey is actually quite healthy. Yeah, it is very healthy. But that's the thing. If a lot of people don't like it, then
problem with turkey. It's not its health aspects.
But the contract, though, Mike, the contract is like people are upset about some of the AI stuff. There still says like simulated performer as opposed to actual human actor. There's nothing like that. So they actually released the whole contract on Friday, all like 128 pages. So we can actually sit down and read it. Everybody can be completely informed.
3 weeks later, they released the contract to look over. Okay, I can see why some people are like, I don't feel comfortable voting for this.
That was about right.
And people have already been voting. That's the thing, too. So, I mean, we'll have to wait to see. Now, December 5th isn't that far away. So we are going back to work. Everybody is all gears. Everything is moving forward. But honestly, it could all come crashing down if the membership say, hey, we don't want this.
Well, IPA still stands with SAG, so we'll see which way it goes. I'll be there for you guys.
I'm torn about it. I gotta tell you, I'm torn about everybody. I kind of am back and forth when I'm gonna vote, but some days I
If
say
you
no,
gotta take
some
a
days I
break
say
and get
yes.
it done right, get it done right. Don't let it go, because look what happened the last time that nothing was handled right. And if you miss this opportunity, it's just gonna be the same bullshit again and again. You've been through it too many times, Brian. You know what I'm talking about. So I understand how frustrating it can be, but like, if you guys don't feel comfortable voting for it, don't fucking vote for it. Fight for what you need to fight for.
Right, as Ryan says, he's seeing more people out there in the chat to being like, vote no and don't vote yes. So, I mean,
yeah, we're already broke. Continue the strike. I don't give a fuck. I'm already broke. I don't give a shit.
That's
what are you gonna do? Make me more broke? Oh no!
What are you gonna take from you now? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much to take, really. But I mean, if it does go through, we'll find out very soon. But again, we'll wait to hear about that. We'll hear about that in another week. But there is other stuff we got to talk about today, everybody, because there is always some breaking news. Come on. The very first thing I want to talk about is the Karate Kid again. We talked about this on Friday. If you didn't see it on Friday, or no, it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday. My days are all messed up because of the holiday. But on Wednesday, we talked about this, that Karate Kid is coming back for a crossover movie. That's right, crossover movie. You got freaking Jackie Chan in here. You got Ralph Macchio coming together, the new Karate Kid. Well, they've had a whole search looking for the next Karate Kid out there right now, looking for the next person to lead this franchise in the future. It's going to start shooting in March, hopefully be done by June. This is happening right away. And they put this out, and 10,000 people applied at Sony to be like, I want to be the next Karate Kid, which is amazing. 10,000, of course, in the US, UK, Canada, India, Australia, Singapore, Finland, Sweden, and South Africa is where they started putting this out. And they're looking for someone to play 17 years old, Chinese or mixed race, that can come in and be the next Karate Kid. And I want to see what happens, because honestly, I'm excited about this. This could be really cool. Karate Kid, I love it. And, you know, a crossover event, make that shit happen. I wasn't as surprised to hear about this as I was to hear about the streaker at Disneyland, because there was a streaker, and it's a small world after all, everybody. He was running around there. Apparently, he must have like heard about the Karate Kid thing.
You made it there first, Kay.
But he probably heard about the Karate Kid thing. He's like, I'm gonna start doing martial arts right now, the small world. But he probably jumped off the ride, took off his clothes. Here's a picture of him right now, just sitting there next to some statues. And then after that, he took everything off, let the full Monty out there, and that's when they actually found him. And they shut him down and took him off the ride. It shut the ride down because of the whole thing. Because you can't be naked, and it's a small world after all. Like, as Kay Jacobs said, it's probably the worst ride to actually do that on. So
if he exposed himself to children, he's
because of all the children. That's what makes it bad, right?
Yes. That's the problem. Like,
now.
It's all the children. He's a sexual offender. And Tiffany Haddish is also getting another DUI, because I heard this and I was like, woo, Tiffany Haddish falling asleep. She was doing a comedy show at the Laugh Factory, and she went to her car. Apparently the car was running for hours and she fell asleep in the driver's seat. And you know how that goes. Cop knocks the window, bam, that's a DUI. It doesn't matter if you're driving or not. And she said the reason why that this happened.
Ignition.
Yeah, that's the thing. But she even said, you know, she prayed to God to send her a man with a job, preferably somebody in uniform, and God answered her prayers, she said.
It's not a bad joke. It's not a bad joke.
It's not a bad joke. But I feel bad for her second one, and you know what? It's just, you know, it'll probably be difficult. But she was joking about the next day. She was doing stand-up joking, so she'll be fine. But, you know, it's got to be something tough to swallow. Just like
this shit doesn't affect the wealthy.
Doesn't, but you know what does affect the wealthy? Sexual assault cases, and that's what's happening right now. A lot of them, and I hear about these. I feel like it's rapid fire. I'm going to go through them really fast, because honestly, there's a bunch over the weekend. I'm like, again, these New York things going forward. They had that statute came forward that said they can actually go for not you know, criminal, but actual civil cases against people that are, you know, beyond the statute of limitations. Well, P. Diddy, Sean Combs here, he just settled something with his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, came forward about how she said that he was sex trafficking her, beating her up, pushing her off to all of his friends to have sex with, recording her. He made her carry a gun in her purse, and so that she would know that his power, she said, that he had over her. I mean, she was with him for years, though. Years. And then she finally left him, and at the point when she was leaving him, too, she was dating somebody else, and he said he would blow that guy's car up if she actually left him for that guy, and that guy's car blew up. So I don't know if that's P. Diddy or not, but I'm just putting that out there. So that happened, and then that got shut down. Now another girl came forward, and she said she was drugged by him back in 1991, where she was working at a chicken and waffles shop, and they apparently got together. And she said that they're going to go out, and she got into his car. She got woozy, and she thought maybe that he drugged her or something. Because the next thing you know, he was on top of her, and she couldn't get him off, and she was raped. And she put that forward from 91.
I don't understand. If you have money, why are you drugging people? You have money. You don't need to drug women.
We don't know for sure.
That's not
you
what
just
it's
don't
about.
need to drug anyone. You
I
have
don't think
money.
that's what it's about. Okay.
Power.
Yeah.
It's about power.
It's power.
You
If
have
Law and Order
money.
SVU
Of
has
course, you have
taught
money. You have
anything.
power.
And this is all allegedly, though, too. We don't really know. But, you know, when you hear the reports building up like this, it makes you wonder if they're true or not, you know? It's like, but we just don't know. These are going to go to court. And of course, the last one with Puff Daddy got worked out, or Sean Combs, where he's going by Diddy, got worked out. And then this one came forward away. Puff Daddy's got like multiple women that have come after him. So this new one, we'll see if it sticks, but that's going down too. Sounds like a villain. You're right. But somebody else that's being, again, charged as well is Axl Rose. And Axl Rose, again, we're going back in time, everybody. We're going, I believe, again, rock and roll. Going back in time, there was a model, apparently. She was at a club. She wanted to meet up with him. He's like, come back to my hotel room with another girl. They went there. She said she wanted to hook up with him. And then she saw him aggressively having sex with the other girl. She tried to run away. The girl was screaming for help. She came back in. He apparently hit her over the head, dragged like a caveman to the bed, and forced her to have sex. And
What the fuck?
Yep. So that's allegedly came forward as well. Lots of sexual assault today, guys. And then also, one more person for you, Jamie Foxx. A girl came forward and said that Jamie Foxx restrained her too at a New York restaurant. Again, felt her up. He said that she was at it was a restaurant, and she wanted her to say hi to him, said, I'm a fan. And then she said he was intoxicated, apparently grabbed her, pinned her up against the wall, put his hands up and down her breasts, inside her pants, up and down. Bodyguards let it happen. And then eventually he left her alone after feeling her everywhere and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of sexual assault allegations. We don't know if they're true or not. We'll have to wait and see, because it just sounds bad for everybody. And I hope this isn't true, but if it is true, these people need fucking justice right now. Just like James Bond needs justice, because we don't have a new movie, and we get what? We get Road to a Million, which is not done well for Amazon. Right now, they were hoping for it to do great, but it's less than 2.7 million people watched it over all time right now. We were complaining about Loki, Mike, about how like only 7 million people watched this first week, but this has been out for weeks and only 2.7 million people watched it. So
it's not a Bond movie though. It's a documentary.
It's a reality show. It's a reality show. So it's like you get to race to get to $1 million. $1 million pounds.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. I saw that and I was like, I'm good. And I love James Bond, but I saw that and I was like, I'm good. I don't want this show. I don't need it.
Hey, Jacob, we just need to do another Bond movie, and we need to get Christopher Nolan to do it. But he says he's not going to do it. He says he's not going to do it though, which drives me nuts. He should be doing this. He said, sadly, no truth of these rumors. There's no truth of these rumors, but I'd be thrilled to do it. But the strike's over. I'm happy we're getting back to work. And he said he will not do it. He's not directing the next Bond, even though the fans have been crying for him to do it for years. I think he should direct Tron Ares, which is starting back up, because I could see him doing a Tron movie. I think it'd be fucking awesome. But Tron Ares is coming back right now. They're finally going to start shooting. They're supposed to start in August. They got shut down for the strike. I could see him directing this. It'd be fucking cool. But you know what? Maybe, he said he wants to be lighthearted. Maybe he can go direct that next Kim Kardashian movie that's coming out, because that comedy's coming at Netflix. They had a big pitch award. He said he wants to do something more lighthearted. So why don't you get out there and direct Kim Kardashian, Nolan? Maybe bring a great performance out of her. I doubt you can, but if anybody can do it, it could be you. It could be you. It could be you. Maybe you should direct the next exotic Jurassic Park coming out, because I heard this too, that the director coming forward about doing an exotic Jurassic Park about a velociraptor marrying a human, and then about how their marital troubles happen in their lives. And that's where we should go with this. It'd be a fun, dramatic movie about velociraptors and humans living together. But he probably won't do that. He'll probably do something like The Rental Family coming forward. And this is Brendan Fraser's new movie about a guy who he's down and out in his luck. He's an actor living in Tokyo, and he's hired out there by all these different people to be a live-in at their homes. And I can see him doing more of that than doing anything else. But
I'll watch anything with that man.
A lot of breaking news.
He'd probably make more money doing that than acting at this point. I think everybody wants him in their house.
Mm-hmm. Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Give me the man.
I will watch anything that man makes. Anything. He can just sit in a chair for an hour and I'll watch him.
I just think that exotic Jurassic Park thing is insane. Like, this is just a thing that a director wants to do. Of course, it is what it is. It's probably not going to happen. But if there's the trailers for Saltburn, this was Emerald Fennel came forward and said that she wanted to do this, and that's getting a lot of praise right now. I think the trailer is weird as shit, but it might be good. That's her next project. I don't know, but I think they're just going to reboot Jurassic Park into what we know from Jurassic Park, and that'll probably be it. But love the chatter out here, everybody. Kato says, understand the appeal of Jurassic Park films. Nah, I mean, I love them. They're great. It's raptors, it's dinosaurs, it's humans. It's come on, they're fun. They're fun, right, Mike?
Dinosaurs. That's the appeal, right?
It's all the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, I say. But yeah, I'm excited about this. But everybody, a lot of breaking news. And at this time, I want all of my great guests right here to have just a minute on the clock to give down what we like to call on this show. If I can find the thing. Oh, it's I fucked all that up,
Got me on
guys.
the edge here.
Oh, jeez.
On the edge.
It's what we like to call on this show, everybody.
We're
One
vamping.
minute on
We're
the clock.
buying
We
time.
call it hot takes.
Yeah.
I think my system's being a little weird, everybody. Being a little weird. But I want to talk about some hot takes right now because a lot of breaking news, a lot of stuff came down, and I just don't even know where to begin with it all. And that's why this is my favorite time where I get to ask my guests what they think about it. I mean, we're talking about like crazy sexual assault cases coming for allegations. We got movies coming and going. We got an exotic Jurassic Park potentially. We got a lot of content coming forward. And of course, everyone's got a minute on that clock to tell us what they think about this. So I'm going to start with my lovely co-host this evening, Mr. Mike Casey here.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see what Mike's hot takes are on all these topics of the day. So Mike, are you ready for your hot takes?
60 seconds is always too short, Brian.
You don't get to go at the same time.
I always fail, but I can try. I'm going to try again
I believe
today,
in you, Mike.
and I can do
We
it. I
believe in
believe
you.
in myself.
Here we go, Mike.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Hot takes.
Okay, Karate Kid. I submitted for that, actually. They haven't called me back. I saw a video of the streaker at Disney. It's a small world is right. Hashtag small kings, hashtag no body shaming, hashtag love yourself. You beat that to me, K. Jacob. Brendan Fraser. I would rent him as my dad. Enough said. 4, Fifth Wheel. Finally a scripted comedy for the Kardashians. Oh, wait, their reality shows have been scripted since the Ray J video. Christopher Nolan Bond movie would be great. Tron Ares. I predict that we will get a youngified Jeff Bridges. I'm all about that. 007 Road to a Million. I love Brian Cox. He's doing the money grab after his Succession fame. The ads were not that interesting. Tiffany Haddish, second DUI arrest. Not funny. You're lucky nobody got hurt. Drink and drive. Let's see. Oh, the most importantly, an erotic Jurassic Park.
That was the one thing you want to talk about the most you said before, Mike.
I know. I was trying to save it for the end. Just when you think Jeff Goldblum couldn't get any sexier, gives a new meaning to the term Dino DNA.
Holla. That's pretty great, Mike.
It's a genetic material joke, Brian. If you understand, it's kind of a deep cut. I don't know if you'd catch that.
Got some sexy amber in there.
Fucking Lexi, why the hate? That's not a fail. That's a mega
fail.
success.
You say it's a fail.
Sheesh. All right. Keep bringing the heat. I'll keep trying to be better. That's the fuel.
Be better.
My question is, can Ron beat you this time? Ron, what do you think? You can show Mike how the hot takes are done today, or what?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Ron's his hot takes in 3, 2, 1. Hot takes.
Karate Kid, I think that's amazing. It was such an instrumental film for a generation. Why not another generation? It's a small world. The streaker dude. Wow, that's just pathetic. And now he's going to pay for that the rest of his life. Tiffany Haddish, second DUI, not funny. Jokes, no, not funny. The sexual assault allegations. Wow, it's Me Too 2024 now, or it will be 2024, which is crazy. Road to a Million fails. Okay. Christopher Nolan not directing the next Bond. That's disappointing. I like Christopher Nolan. I think we've talked about him in the past. Tron Ares, that sounds fantastic. Yes, a young Jeff Bridges would be great. Kardashian comedy bidding. Do you know there are 5 studios bidding for this thing? It's just ridiculous what they do, the power they have.
Crazy.
Jurassic Park erotic, that's ridiculous. And Brendan Fraser, I'm so happy for his second chance. It's great.
Timing.
Nice.
Ron got it.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Here we go. I'm excited for Brendan Fraser too, coming back, his renaissance right now in his career, right, Ron? He's getting this opportunity to just like kick ass again, and I think the doors is going to open up any kind of production he wants in the future. I think it's going to be great. Queen doesn't think that Nolan would be a good fit for Bond. What do you think about that, Ron?
I respectfully disagree. I do.
I think he'd be great. People have been crying for it, but Queen, you're right. I mean, maybe this is not going to be the fit for him right now. He wants to do something more lighthearted. Bond's lighthearted-ish.
Maybe now, you're right.
He's got
Right
such a visual, stylistic thing that seems like it'd match with the new direction.
I think it'd be great. And then you could bring in like his own person to be Bond. I don't know. It could be fun. I think it'd be a good thing, but some people might not agree too, and that's fine. Kay Jacob, what do you think about this? You ready for your hot takes?
Let's do it. I'm ready. I'll do a real hot takes this time.
Real hot takes. I want to see some real hot takes.
I'll cover them all.
Okay. All right. Challenge accepted. Okay. Kay Jacobs, hot takes in 3, 2, 1. Hot takes.
All right, Karate Kid. Thank God it's not a remake. I'll take it. The Streaker. Yeah, it's definitely a small world, but Mike Casey said it best. Tiffany Haddish, DUI charge. Quit fucking drinking and driving, or falling asleep in your car with your keys in the ignition. Sexual assault allegations. I think it's time to quote Bob Barker and say, please spay and neuter your fucking rock stars. Road to a Million. I do not give a shit. I want another Bond movie. And speaking of another Bond movie, I'm not that disappointed about Nolan. I just want a Guy Ritchie Bond. Where's my Guy Ritchie Bond?
Ooh.
Tron, I'm happy for you, Brian. That's all I have to say. Congrats for Tron. Kim Kardashian, Don't give a flying fuck. Never did. Erotic Jurassic Park brings a whole new meaning to boners. And Brendan Fraser can talk me as well.
And he's still got 13 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck yeah.
What do you get to pitch in that? 9 seconds. 9 seconds. What you got?
Guy Ritchie Bond. Let's do it. I mean, think about it.
Yes.
It's Guy Ritchie and James Bond movies. He's like the king of heist films. You can apply that to Bond.
I could totally. I didn't think about Guy Ritchie before. He'd be fucking great.
Right?
He would be great.
It's perfect.
This is the world we're in right now where we get to think about this. All these different directors that have this opportunity, I think they need to just like cash in on them and bring somebody good in for Bond and make Bond fucking great and stop trying to do reality shows. Honestly, it's just enough. It didn't work out for them. They tried.
Fuck Squid Games. Fuck Millionaire Bond. Like I just want more of the show or the film. I don't need them to take a show or a film and turn it into a reality. Like I don't care for that kind of competition. If I wanted competition, I'll go watch reruns of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Like I don't give a flying fuck. Or go watch the 30-year run of MTV's Challenge or whatever the fuck it's called.
How are they going to have lunchboxes if they never have the reality show, KJ?
That's fair. That's fair.
KJ. Anyways, everybody, lovely hot takes. We got through them. That was a lot of fun. It was actually a lot of fun. So we have a lot to talk about tonight, everybody. So now it's time to get into it. Come on. So the very first thing that I want to get into tonight is I want to talk about another remake coming. Remake, reboot, redo. Let's make it happen all over again for the next time and for the future audience. And that is a remake of People Under the Stairs. Now, I've never seen the People Under the Stairs. I watched the trailer today and I laughed my ass off. I mean, it's again, if you think about it, you go back in time with this production, like you got a great cast. You got Vin Rain in here. You got Jordan Peele producing the new one. He's creating this. So you have his monster universe. He'll be bringing his suspense universe using his Monkey Paw Productions to make this move forward. No director attached yet. But if you're going back to a Wes Craven production, I mean, that's huge. It's a huge name attached to a movie. And it did pretty well at times. But nowadays, we're taking that movie, we're throwing in today's world, and I feel like Blumhouse have been great for this production, but I do like his Monkey Paw Productions. I feel like it was more suspense, so I feel like if we're going to go like for Wes Craven, maybe we do Blumhouse. But anyways, regardless of, you know what this is about? It's about follows a boy and a couple of robbers who get trapped inside a house they're trying to rob, okay? Soon, though, ill-gotten gains are the last thing on their mind after they discover a large group of scary-looking cannibal kids hiding in the house who have some terrible secrets of their own. But yeah, so they're going to take this movie, Jordan Peele's going to make it into something new and with his own production company. Do we want to see it? Do we love this? Do we hate this? I saw Justin in the chat saying it's a great movie, leave it alone. Lexi going, Brian, I don't know what she's saying about this, but I'm going to go to Kate. I'm going to go to Kate Jacob first because I guarantee he has seen this movie. So, Kate Jacob, I know you've seen it. So like, we can just go past that shit. We're past that bread and butter. What do you think about this? Is it going to be a good movie? Does it make sense to reboot it? Do you want to see a remake? Do you agree with Justin they should leave this shit alone? Or are you fucking dancing right now because you're so excited to hear this news?
I was actually raising my hand so I can go first. So thanks for calling on me, Teach. I love the original. The People Under Stairs is actually my third favorite movie of all time.
Wow.
It's my absolute third favorite film of all time. I absolutely love it. I adore it. And it's probably the greatest Wes Craven film ever made. It's absolutely amazing. It stands the test of time, and it's really important to certain points of society. And the cool thing about it is with Jordan Peele taking over, I have a bit of hope if he does with this what he did with Candyman. That was not a remake. It was a reboot, rebooting the world and continuing the story. I absolutely loved what he did with Candyman. He was a producer on that. If he's a producer on this or directing it, I have faith that if he takes it in the same direction he took Candyman, that this will be very, very good, because I would love to see a reboot, not a remake. I want more People on the Stairs. I trusted in his hands to be able to deliver that. Because like I said, what he did with Candyman was excellent. I felt like, all right, now we got a brand new Candyman. It keeps all of the lore. It keeps all the original films intact, and it's a continuation. So give me a brand new People in the Stairs. I want to see Roach come back. I want to see the fucking kids in the walls. I want to see Daddy and Mama go fucking psycho. Like, I'm all about it. I'm here for it if he takes it in that direction. If this is a remake, I'm going to be a little disappointed, but you know what? Fuck it. Take my money, Jordan Peele.
They're calling it a remake there, K. Jacob. They're calling it a remake. So
they called Candy a remake too. They did.
Yeah.
And then it came out, it's like, this is not a remake. It's a reboot or a reimagining.
Yes.
And that's how I like to look at it. I think remake is just, it's a shorthand for everything now, because I mean, let's face it, that's Hollywood. There's no fucking original idea. Like, that's why we're on strike and we're all going to get back to work just to remake the same shit. Woo!
That's all it is. It's just, I see all these interviews being like, it's just safe. That's what people say. And so that's why they want to they go into the past. What made money before? And something like this could be probably a pretty cheap budget in retrospect, I would think, compared to a Disney production.
Follow the money. That's what we learned from The Wire, right?
So that'd be great.
Also, I think too, I'm not one to speak for Black culture, but I do feel that film for Black culture is going to be well handled in Jordan Peele's hand than another white guy director.
This is what, so if I can jump in here.
Yeah, Mike, jump in.
Exercising special co-host power. That's how I was tagged in the intro, which just feels good. It feels good, Brian. So thank you. K. Jacob, I haven't seen People Under the Stairs either.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Did it have, I mean, to me, some of the really the best horror films that I enjoy have, I guess, kind of a social agenda, or they try to reveal real life horrors.
Yes.
And maybe suggest ways out. Like, so did the original People Under the Stairs have any social program at all? Because I would imagine, based on what we've seen from Jordan Peele in the past, that even if it didn't, he would find a message in there.
Yes, it's in this neighborhood that they live in. It's supposed to be in a Black neighborhood that is owned by this couple that's a white rich couple, and they give this facade of like that family friendly 50s, like happy go lucky, like we got money. So they talk shit, they look down, they're not racist in how they speak, but it's those undertones where it's like you're saying something really racist, but it's not like blatant about it. And as the movie progresses, you have this kid and his friends, they go to rob them because they're like, I hear they got money. That's old money. It's hiding out in this house. And that's when they get into the house, they realize this house is kind of like, it's a H.H. Holmes house. It's a fucking trap door. There's all kinds of shit going on. And like, they're being trapped in this house and trying to escape. And at the same time trying to escape, there's this little girl and they're like, oh snap, she's a victim. She's not like a daughter. Like she's not their actual child. Like they fucking torture this girl. And like when these kids get out of line,
no
spoilers.
I'm getting in there
it's
now.
a 40-year-old movie.
I know,
man.
but it's
looks
you
like
guys,
American Horror Story.
So many people in the chat, and
people
you
under the stairs, they're not
movie,
people,
so
they're children. The
I'm
people
going
under the stairs
right-
are children that have
I'm
grown
going
up.
right to watch this. Like,
Please go watch
I'll
it.
watch it this week. Like, you guys say it's so good.
It's a
so I'm
great
about it.
Thanksgiving holiday film. It's for all family.
Thanksgiving.
It's a really wonderful because it gives you something to be thankful for by the time it's over. I've not done a great job of really putting it out there in special, like in the proper treatment it deserves, because I just get so excited and I forget my words. But it is a really well done film. There's a lot of social commentary in it. The story has great suspense. It has it came out in the 90s and it did something different. I mean, it is scary, but it's not what you're expecting, and it has these nice little twists and turns. It has a great approach to being like, are these monsters? Are these zombies? What are these fucking things under the stairs? What are these things in the wall? And you find out over the progress of the film,
I'm listening,
who they are, and it's really well done story. And of course, the cast is phenomenal. I love the cast, and the guy that plays Daddy and the woman that plays Mama. They're fucking psychos, and I love them. They're fantastic. They have some of the best scenes, like just
Pep
crazy.
star shalom ding ding.
It seems like a perfect fit for Jordan Peele. Honestly, I see here that it was written by Ezra Daniels, who did Doom Patrol and Night Sky.
Yeah,
Doom Patrol is great.
Doom Patrol failed this last season, though. Doom Patrol, you saw the end of Doom Patrol, they failed bad. I mean,
oh really?
It didn't really end
the end of it.
Do people not like it? That sucks.
I watched the end of it.
Strong, though.
I was so excited about the end of Doom Patrol because it wasn't going to be released. Then it was released, and it's like a lot of filler. A whole musical episode for no reason, and then the saddest ending ever for no reason too. But I mean, like, what do you do? I still enjoyed that show.
Irrespectively, I'm happy to see comics authors. This guy has a handful of Eisner Award nominations under his belt, and if anybody knows anything about comic books, the Eisner Award is the Academy Award of comic books. There's no greater honor. So. I have high hopes because I love to see comic authors expanding into other medium, and I'm also eager to see because
and People Under Stairs has a lot of comedy in it. There's a lot of funny moments, and there's moments that are funny that shouldn't be funny, but you can't help but to laugh because you're either going to laugh or freak the fuck out because you're like, this is unbelievable, and it really is unbelievable.
Jordan Peele is definitely going to bring a new twist to this, even if it had an
existing
existing social commentary. He's going to have a fresh take. So I'm really looking. I'm going to watch the original probably this week, and I'll absolutely probably see this one in the theater.
Yep, and then it can become your third favorite film of all time too, Mike. You'll love it.
It might become all our favorite film.
Across the board, all genres, it is my third favorite film of all time. Across the board.
That's some high stakes right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch a lot of garbage, so it's not really that high.
But Ron, you hear about this movie. I don't know if you've actually seen this movie before, but what do you think about Jordan Peele taking another horror franchise or a horror movie like this that did very well and trying to put his own footprint on it? Do you think this would be a good thing for him, a good production moving forward? Then you can give it some justice that it never had before.
I think exactly what you said. I do think he can bring something to it that wasn't there before, and probably something smarter. But I'll tell you this about the film. I don't think I saw it, but for years I looked through the stairs when there were open stairs for people, and it scared the shit out of me.
The concept is terrifying.
The name, the concept. It freaked me out for years as a child.
Did you ever have any problems with stairs? Like, did a stair break on you ever? Anything like that when you were a kid?
No, but if there's people under the stairs, that's a problem.
Yeah. That's why I never watched it too. It sounded too scary.
Yes, exactly.
It's like this though, Ron. Can you imagine if that just started happening? You'd probably be like, got hard pass.
Oh my God, yeah, no thanks. See ya.
So is this something you would watch though, or no? Because of the stair dilemma, would you not watch this movie when it comes out?
I don't think I'm interested.
Still scared.
Yeah. There's going to be an audience. There's going to be some people that will probably be very upset about it too, because again, people are like, going to be like, why are we doing this? That's always the thing. I saw Justin say, Alexi kind of were saying it was the best one ever in the chat. Kate Jacobs saying too, third favorite movie ever. I mean, if that's what it is, it's going to be hard to top that, isn't it? It's going to be hard for Jordan Peele.
Quick,
my
K,
first-
Jacob, because we're going to have to get to the next topic. But
Okay,
Justin asked you in the chat. So quick, number 1 and number 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, number 1 is Night of the Creeps. Number 2 is The Rules of Attraction.
Not typical choices. The
Rules of
Godfather
Attraction.
and
These are
Scarface.
films across the board. Granted, my top 3 tend to be horror films, but
Mhm.
Rules of Attraction is not horror.
No,
No, no,
It's a
not at all.
fantastic movie.
I
Fantastic.
love
movie.
Rules of Attraction. I love it.
It made me want to make cinema.
Well, there you go. You got Ron on board for that, but not this under the people under the stairs. I think it's going to be a tough sell, I think. Then again, maybe he can make this niche something bigger with Jordan Peele's name attached to it. I mean, hopefully it's great. I hope it's great. I always hope the best for these kind of
It's
movies.
going to be great. It's going to be
There's an
great.
audience. Hopefully it's going to be great. Can it be as great as Ozzy Osbourne's career, though? That's my question. Can it be as great as his career? I don't know if it can. But this man has fucking killed it for years. And Black Sabbath.
jealous of my moves.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Don't be jealous of Ozzy Osbourne. He's fucking killed it. But now, on a sad note, he came forward recently. He was talking to Rolling Stone UK about his life, his career, looking back at it all. And he has a positive aspect of life. You know, he was saying, I just want to go out there. Of course, he had probably his Parkinson's, had numerous surgeries in the past few years. It's one of those things where he can't even tour anymore. He came forward like, I don't think I can tour anymore because of the Parkinson's. I'm going to try. And he said, I just want to be able to be well enough to do like one more show where I can say, hey guys, thanks so much for my life. Because again, it comes down to his fans that were there for him the whole time. But he's not dead, but he's 74 years old and he's talking about how he thinks that he goes, I got about, yes, at best, he said 10 years left. And he's coping with that, being like, by the time he turns 84, he doesn't think he'll live much longer than that. And that's fucking crazy to hear. But when you have those kind of issues and you get older and the life of rock and roll that he's had, it's like, you're right. Everybody's getting older and time goes by so fucking fast. And he was looking at it going, I just don't know how much longer I can do this. I just don't know how much longer I'm going to last. And that sucks because this guy right here has had an amazing career and I love him. I mean, I'm not a big fan of a lot of his songs, but I do love,
Come on, get in there, Black Sabbath.
I'm gonna say Black
eponymous
Sabbath
album, like
Mike,
great from the jump, dude.
Mike, there are some great. He's done a lot of great stuff, honestly. But there's some of the stuff where it's too hardcore for me. His last song, "Patient Number
You're
9,"
a puss, man. That shit is
was
so
really cool. Okay,
like,
Mike, tell me how you feel about Ozzy Osbourne's career. Do you think he's got every?
He's
Do
the
you think that
bloody
he's
Prince of
maybe jumping the
Darkness.
gun a little bit? And do you think he's got more in his tank?
If it's too heavy for you, the Black Sabbath has always been the pop music of heavy metal. Him, Dio, frickin' his new guitarist Zach Wilde, Tommy Iommi, the original guitarist who was using banjo strings, like.
Yeah,
it's pop music. It's pop music, like with some distortion to it. Like I don't consider it heavy. As for Ozzy, you hit the news isn't that Ozzy Osbourne has 10 years to live. It's that Ozzy Osbourne made it to 74 years old. Miracles do happen, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the actual interesting thing is that he's throwing shade at the idea of performing in a wheelchair. He didn't like it when Phil Collins did it. I think that there's probably ways to perform in a wheelchair. I'm not going to be ableist like that. I think that it is hard to sing sitting down. So he's not used to it. He doesn't want to change up his thing. He doesn't want to do it. That's fine if that's his preference. But it could be great when Marilyn Manson broke his foot or his leg. I saw him on tour. He had this like motorized wheelchair thing, and it was all demonic, of course. Like it would remind you from I don't know if you ever saw Roundhouse on Nickelodeon in the 90s. Like they had that lazy boy that you would move around with a joystick or whatever. It can be done. It was a trash show from Marilyn Manson, but I don't know. You can be done. Great for you for still being alive, Ozzy.
I know. My Mike, he was saying too, he goes, all my drinking buddies are fucking dead.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Because like 74 is great for a rock star. My God.
And he's like, how am I still here? But he's still kicking, and like, and he was talking about Sharon too, was telling him to stop smoking weed because I kill him. He's like, calm down. I think it's great the career he's had. I think we should honestly celebrate that. You're right. Like he's 74 years old, rock and rolling that whole time. Ron, have you ever been a big fan of Black Sabbath or Ozzy Osbourne? Are you as shocked as Mike is? That are you more about celebratory of like where he's gotten now than worried about where he's going to be in the future?
It's interesting. I was never a Black Sabbath fan, never an Ozzy fan until the reality show The Osbournes came out, and I
Yeah,
saw
good
them
show.
I saw them as a family unit, and I had a lot of respect for him actually. And to hear him say he feels he has 10 years left, I'm just surprised, like Jacob said, that he's gone this far, because even in that reality show, I mean, he just was fragile. He was a small piece of the man he used to be, and so that's been like 15 years. So he's still hanging on, and God bless him for that. He's got a family. His wife, she was just like the glue to that family, holding him together, because I'm sure it wasn't easy being married to Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly, I would imagine.
But she made it through with all the cash and prizes also. So that, yeah, it'll be interesting to see it play out. I don't want to say I don't think it'll be around for 10 years, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I guess with having Parkinson's, though, too, I guess he's not being too upset about it, though. He's just kind of being like, I'm trying to be realistic about my life and my career. But I just think that, again, he looks like he's in positive spirits regardless. That he's doing well, if you ask me, like through all the surgeries, everything else he's had. So the fact that he can joke about everything, he's joking with the Osbournes. He's like, there's no fucking way I'm doing another season of that show. I'm too old. But that would be actually probably great TV right now.
It would.
The bat diet helped him live longer. Thanks, Justin. You're probably right. Maybe that was bat's blood.
They're
It actually
good for
turned
the
him into a vampire.
cholesterol.
We had no idea all this time. Hey, Jacob, are you a fan of Ozzy? Do you think that he is just being dramatic? Do you think that it's a time in his life where he does have to start thinking about that? And do you think he'll get on stage again?
I have to give credit to Mike. It was Mike that actually said he's shocked he lived this long, and I'm shocked too. I don't think the question is how does he have 10 more years? It's more like how did he even pass the last 10 years? But he's the bloody fucking Prince of Darkness. He's Ozzy fucking Osbourne. Of course I like him. He's great. I love Black Sabbath. I like some of his earlier albums that came out. I love Bark at the Moon. I mean, the Blizzard of Oz, all that shit. It's great. It's very heavy metal, like 80s heavy metal. It's not the shit that I was into, but I mean, it's Ozzy Osbourne. You got to show respect to the fucking Prince of Darkness, and he's the Prince of Darkness. So I wouldn't be surprised if this man, lives to be past 100. Because I'm honestly shocked at this point. It's like, who's going to go first, him or Keith Richards? Like, I mean, where's he going?
At this point, he's reached that level of or like Willie Nelson. It's just the resin holding him together at this point.
Mm-hmm. And I also like what Ron said too, watching that show when I was in middle school or high school when it came out, and seeing him in the family unit, like as a dad, he's a cool fucking dad. Like he was really chill. He just hated when his dog would shit everywhere. He's like, there's shit everywhere. There's shit everywhere. There's shitting everywhere. Like that's the whole show. Is him just freaking out about dog shit. And to see him in this family unit, and he has like little dogs. I'm expecting him to have like giant mastiffs, and it's like, no, he's got little fucking chihuahuas and little, furry little snot balls, and they just shit everywhere. And he's just like, there's shit everywhere, Sharon, there's shit everywhere. It's fucking great.
And they are still together. I think it was Kato asked it, but they're still together. They've been together for 40 some, or I think it was like 40 some years, something like that. 46, I think you said, or 44. But yeah, so they're still together. She isn't on a talk show. She's been on a talk show multiple times. I don't know if she's still on it. Was she on the talk before? No, she's gone now. So, but she was for a long time, and she's great. They're all great personalities. They're an awesome family all together. And honestly, the Prince of Darkness, as people are saying, maybe because he's the Prince of Darkness, maybe he will live forever. Maybe. And I think Rachel said in the chat, like, the key to living forever and immortality is loads of drugs and being a rock star. And that might be what it is, because look at him, still smiling and still going strong. And he's still joking about life, even though, like, of course, we get older. That's what happens. You never know what's going to happen any day that goes by. But
Kato, that's a good joke, dude.
Does he suffer from bad eyesight?
Prince of Darkness, Sharon!
Sharon! Well, you got to be very careful when you're a rock star, but also when you're on set, because accidents do happen. Happens all the time. We talk about, people got to be fucking careful. I'm talking about some stunt accidents that have been happening, and some lawsuits may be coming forward. I group these together because these two things I heard about, I'm like, Fast and the Furious for one. Apparently Fast and Furious is being sued for $1 million, and they're going to actually settle, I guess, to their stunt man who suffered brain damage after an accident. And it's one of those things, the guy Joe Watts, he suffered a broken skull, guys. A broken skull after falling 8 meters onto concrete, landing on his head in an accident during Fast and Furious.
That
9.
sucks really bad.
Yeah, and Mike, what they were describing, it's like every day on set. It's like, oh, we were rushing, we reset really fast. We should have reset the pads when we did that. We didn't. We wanted to change the shot really quick. We didn't check the harnesses, and we just went, and then the harness came off, and the guy hit his head. Luckily, he lived. He's in a wheelchair, but luckily he lived. You know, and for him, he's suing, saying they should have taken more precautions. But everybody knows that it goes on set. Sometimes just rushing, just trying to get the shot, running out of light. That's what happens, and it shouldn't happen. We should be always thinking about safety. And as these stunt performers said, it should be more about safety first of the person doing it and not the shot. But unfortunately, it's not
Safety
always
last.
like that.
We know the drill.
Safety last. Yeah,
Every
same
time.
thing happened on Squid Game. Safety last. And in Squid Game, though, like all these people that were playing the new Squid Game, you guys have probably seen it on Netflix right now, and all the contestants doing a reality show. But we talked about this before. They're going to be suing. They're putting it together, a case together, because they got during the first red light, green light. Apparently, it was so cold in the UK they were suffering from hypothermia, nerve damage, and they're calling it trauma for the rest of their lives now, of course. And that happened. And then Harry Potter, I heard too on Harry Potter, like Henry Radcliffe's stunt guy died. He got thrown against the wall, and the strap came off, and it paralyzed him. And that was a whole article that came out a couple weeks ago. So these things happen on set. And I just put it out there, everybody, right now. It's like we hear about these accidents. We hear about people rushing. We hear about, like, you know, what we fight for when we're doing union contract negotiations. I think at the end of the day, though, I think we forget that we're human beings doing a job. And I feel like that overall, we could be better at safety. We could, because Ron, you've been on set for a long time. Have you seen incidents like that where maybe you think they probably could have double check on that? They could have done something more, but they just push the boundaries because they want to make a day. Isn't that a normal thing that happens?
Oh, it's totally a normal thing that happens. In fact, a hot word on set is safety, or it's not safe. And so many times I would be talking to a producer saying, we need to do this, we need to do that. We don't have time. Yeah, but we need this. We don't have time. We don't have the money.
Always time
it's
for
not
safety.
safe. It's not safe. And they're like, what do you need? They'd shut it down. What do you need? I'm like, I need what I asked for. And I see it happening all the time. And I have slowed things down intentionally so people could get their stuff done.
There's a lot of stuff you're working with when you were on set, Ron. It's like very dangerous equipment at times, right?
Oh yeah.
So someone could be injured very easily, and some of these setups and stuff, you're very involved with a lot of this. So, or you were, and you've seen people just be like you said, they just go, it'll be okay. But people get hurt all the time on set, and it's like, do you think that these people have a lawsuit, like the people on Squid Game, or I mean, the guy from Fast and Furious, he definitely had one. But do you think that Squid Game people have a case against the production?
No, I gross set on that one. It's just, no, come on. It's just, the you said it was a $1 million lawsuit though?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Fast and Furious.
It's only $1 million.
I am kind of too. I'm very shocked, especially brain damage. And that guy's done for the rest of his life. Right. So I can't imagine him working again the way that they talk about his injuries. Usually that's a multi-million-dollar. Yeah, right. They should be grateful to be working. A lot of stunts are done on CGI.
Different takes in the comments.
Queen, there is that. But they still do a lot of practical effects. Like I worked on a show before the shutdown from the strikes, where they lit a guy on fire, and they've done that in years. My first time seeing it, they still lit him on fire and had him run across a field and jump in a pool. Coolest thing ever to see live, and they were very cautious about it. But someone get badly hurt. You can't fuck around. Okay, Jacob, do you think that this is going to change though in Hollywood? Do you think that safety will become a bigger thing? I mean, again, we've had things with the Alec Baldwin thing and a lot of safety stuff coming out recently. Do you think that anything's going to change in the future, or will people still think about money more than safety moving forward?
I am very glad that they're finally holding studios accountable. I've only been doing this for about 10 years within the industry. I've seen crazy shit that I'm like, why is that happening? How is that even an excuse to let happen? I'm going to do a cheap plug too. Go check out my IPA session with Crystal Martin, who is a professional stunt woman. She talks about all the training. Stuntmen do not fuck around. They take safety extremely serious. It is their number one goal when they are on set. When it is a stunt shoot and the stuntmen are in charge, you cannot get any safer. However, when it's not a stunt shoot and it's people filming a stunt segment and the stunt leaders are not involved, that's when things tend to slip under. And they're like, hey, we don't have time. Let's do this.
Right.
And they don't take safety into account. And a lot of these stuntmen, they're extremely talented. They're very smart with how they've done things, but anything can go wrong at any moment. It doesn't matter how safe you are. It doesn't matter if you're just doing a bit where you're jumping from a table onto the grass. Something can go horribly wrong. And that's why stuntmen do everything they can to be as extremely safe, to give entertainment to the masses and to give us those awesome fight sequences, to give us those awesome explosions, those awesome cars ramping off of cliffs, those stunt bikes. All that stuff is super cool, and they bust their ass and they put their life on the line. But their safety should always come first.
Yeah.
And I've seen,
Absolutely.
not just within the stunt community, I have seen on set outside of the stunt community, like Ron was saying, there are moments where, for example, you have electricians on set, they have lighting, they have equipment, you have generators going. Rain starts to happen. It's just a drizzle. That's fine. But all of a sudden you see lightning or you hear the thunder and you start realizing that this is getting closer, and they do things like they shut things down when lightning strikes within a certain radius. I have been on productions where producers thought it wasn't a big deal. We need this take. We really need to get it now so we can finish our day. And thank God we had an intelligent gaffer who straight up shut the power down, had his guys that were up in the condors get out while they're all bitching and moaning to him. And he's like, go ahead, bitch me out. But that's the safety hotline who I just fucking called. So be mad at me that I had to shut production down. He took it upon himself to shut production down. It pissed everyone off on set. But you know what? He came back the next day with the job still intact and his crew still intact, and nobody was hurt because he did the right thing.
And
It's very rare that you see that happen.
This
very
is what
rare.
these professionals need to be empowered to do. It's absolutely critical. It's their job. And despite the pressures of the fact that you're spending tens of thousands of dollars on your shoot that day, like I understand people putting pressure on everybody that's working to finish what they're working on. And I think that's where that pressure kind of comes from. But you need these people, and they're saying it in the chat too, like we have to drill it into their heads that they are empowered to say no, and that there's not. It's interesting. I actually really like this. I wrote a lot when I was trying to figure out my response to this. It's power and control dynamics. So we need to make sure that people that are in the position to shut that down feel empowered to shut it down, to say no, because this, right? Ron, what do you got?
Well, yeah, I mean, but so many people, especially the ones in the position, the whole industry is so much based on fear, you know? And even these people in the position are fearful that they're going to lose their job.
Yeah, you're not going to get hired back if you're not willing to cut it super close, right?
Absolutely.
That's
and
fucked. That's so fucked. That's so fucking fucked, man.
I have been
to
electrocuted on
this
set.
shit,
Sets are dangerous.
I've had the set, the whole set just going fucking crazy over stuff. And then I'll be doing something and my boss will be yelling at me, the director will be yelling, and literally I talk to my guys like this. I'm like, go ahead, bring in a ladder and bring it to the set over there, and we'll get to that light above it. I'll slow everything down. And they're yelling and stuff, and I'm like, I got it. Yep. And probably because I didn't care, but it's like, I don't need to run around frantic like that. And when you're running around frantic like that, you're not being safe. You know, that's when accidents happen.
People get hurt.
Yes.
And somebody can trip.
I'm sure you've all been
wires.
hurt on set before too. Like I've been electrocuted. I have had my knee. I've had skin shaved off my knee from stepping out of a truck. Simple things, and it's not anyone's fault. These are just, sets are dangerous, and you have to be aware. The electrocution was nothing bad. It was like touching a dog wire, you know, like a wire fence for a dog. But like something was plugged in. It was raining, but there was no lightning, so generators were still going. I was the first to realize, like, hey, this hot box here, it's got a little juice on it that can put some reverb into the charging station for walkies, and I got shocked. I got the piss shocked out of me. It fucking hurt. I was like, fuck, don't touch that. And thankfully the electrician saw it, was like, hey man, and he like shut everything down. It was not his fault or my fault. It was just, we weren't aware. It was something that happened, because these things can happen. And that was taking safety into account.
Yeah.
And that was trying to be safe. It's just these things happen.
Hmm?
And so like ever
just-
since
it
then, I'm
just
always
does.
aware, like if I see something from what I've experienced, I let people know like, hey man, maybe shut that down before you touch it. You know, hey,
It's also a
maybe
numbers
take
game.
that over there. You know, we have a system when, like Ron was saying, you guys carry ladders, you carry, you know, the rigging poles and stuff, and you're always yelling points and you're trying to let people know, hey, points on set, and people don't want to listen. And it's like, you hear points, that means move out of the way, watch your face because you're about to get smacked. So like there are protocols, and
Absolutely.
the crew, generally the crew follows these protocols because
Yes.
we give a shit if we live or die.
Yes.
We actually
yeah.
care.
Absolutely.
But upper heads, they'll get
Regardless if the
so
studio
fucking
does it.
pissed. They'll get so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey man, that's someone's life you need to like take into account. Like this is a production. And I work on TV shows, so like I'm not really making art here. Okay, let's be honest. It's a fucking television show. I love to watch
It's
the
still
booth
art.
tube like everyone else.
It's still art.
There's
But
still
it's
art there.
not-
There's still
it's
art there.
not-
All kinds
Don't
of
let it
art.
lose its art.
I work on formulaic TV shows.
I
But
did
when I'm
35
working-
years
but
of
I've worked-
sitcoms.
You know, and I love
Yeah.
sitcoms. I fucking love sitcoms. They're
Not art.
great.
This,
And I've worked
This-
on
this
features that are art, in my opinion, because they're really well done. And it's a director that actually comes in with the shooting script and knows what they're doing, unlike TV shows.
Yes.
You know, it's
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
pattern
Mm.
that you see. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
But the
the
crew is
TV
always
shows-
safe, and unfortunately, it seems like producers don't really take that into account because they really are just thinking about money. And
Yep.
to be fair to the producers, they're to a point where they also put themselves in danger. I have been on shows where a producer has been seriously injured. I have seen.
look at that guy who like
these
lost
things
his
happen.
leg.
Yep, that's the show I was talking about.
I mean,
It was
that's what I'm saying.
it was bad, and that
He's a-
wasn't his fault. And I believe they did everything they could that day to be
Sitting
safe.
at
It's
Video
just,
Village.
it wasn't.
wow.
A stunt can go bad, and
Yeah.
that's what happened. A stunt went bad, and a
And they-
car drifted into an area it shouldn't have. These things happen. That's also
Producer
why you're
lost his
supposed to
leg.
clear out. And they try to tell everyone like you should really clear out. So moving forward, people are trying to be more aware of that with certain stunts. That they're like, hey, let's learn from this experience. But then there are times like the gaffer who had to be like, no, I'm shutting production down because you're a fucking idiot. You should know better. That's lightning. This is electrical
Right.
power. Shut it the fuck down. That's a
shut it
gas
down.
generator. Shut it down. Kaboom, you know, kaboom. Like that's
What about
not
the
what you're
dude-
filming.
Sorry. What about that
Sorry.
dude Vic Moreau on the Twilight Zone movie? His head was chopped off
By
in
a
a
helicopter.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
terrifying.
Stunt going bad.
Yeah, you kids don't know about that stuff, but yeah,
Oh
I
no,
remember that.
I'm familiar. I was on the Wikipedia
That's-
article about that like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
There's
of
a
course.
Cursed Films on Shutter. It's fantastic. They talk all about that crazy shit. Yeah,
Crow.
and John Landis, man, I'm really shocked by that. And Steven Spielberg was there. I know for a fact he was there. I'm talking shit on your show. I don't care if your
Listen,
700 viewers hear me or not. Steven Spielberg
Oh,
was there.
Burning,
He should be
Burning
held
Bridges is a
responsible as well.
long time cruise control tradition.
It's a thing on cruise control. It is. If we're not burning bridges, we're reporting the news. But yeah, overall though, it's been a trend in Hollywood where people just like to cut the corners here and there, and that's why these accidents happen. Now, maybe not every time. Freak accidents happen. Sometimes productions are very safe, but I still think that end of the day, negotiations for these contracts are meaningful in a lot of ways. Stunts we're fighting for a lot in this one too. Protections go a long way, and we need to keep these people safe. They make some amazing art that a lot of actors can't do. They step out and let that person take over, and they kill it. They destroy that scene the way they couldn't do it themselves, and we can't lose that art. I know CGI is very popular, but there's something about, I think Kato said, about a guy jumping off a roof and like landing into like 50 boxes, and he lives
It's
and
great.
he's fine.
It looks
It's a
beautiful.
thing, and it looks amazing. And we can't lose that art because of some handfuls of assholes who are trying to save a buck, and then people are hurt because of it. Now, again, those people need to be taken care of. But I think that all these contracts, everything moving forward, they should be warning signs for what can come, and we need to take care of our people so we can keep making art and not sacrificing it because of assholes that all care about money.
Right. And one more thing too. Someone mentioned in the chat about Hong Kong cinema. Yes, it was extremely fucking dangerous, but they changed the formula, and Hollywood studios and Hong Kong cinema learned from all that shit and became more safety aware. But at the time, absolutely zero fucking safety. But that's
Yep.
what changed perspectives because of Hong
Great
Kong
that they
cinema.
changed it.
Yeah, they need to change it. Well, hopefully everybody keeps learning from all these situations, especially as we hear about more and more coming forward. It's like, I'm like, oh, I heard so many. I'm like, this isn't something we have to talk about this. That hopefully they fix it so that we hear about this less, because we got to keep it safe.
It can look fantastic and everyone can be happy. Just take your
Yeah.
time. Safety first.
Take your time. Safety first, not money first, right?
And it'll be worth it because you rush it looks like shit and they never use it. That's the other thing. They never use the footage because they rush it.
Never do.
Never.
Well,
use that.
speaking about rushing your shit, I want to talk about Marvel a little bit because they always rush their shit
more
when it comes to
Marvel.
special effects. But I want to talk about Taika Waititi because Taika Waititi's back in the news again because he said that, well, when it came to the Thor movies, he was on a Smartless podcast talking about it, and he said he really had no interest in joining the MCU. He had no interest in directing any kind of production for the MCU. He was doing very well with what he was doing. All of his independent productions and his acting, directing, he was having fun with that, but he had a second kid, and they called him up about Thor, and he's like, well, I gotta be able to buy that kid some food, so I'm gonna do the Thor movie. So apparently it was all based off money for him. That's what he said in his interview coming forward. He says, you know what, I had no interest in doing one of those films. It wasn't on my plan in my career as a director, but I was poor, and I just had a second child, and I thought, what? This would be a great opportunity to feed these children. And Thor, he said, let's face it, it was probably the least popular franchise. So shots fired at Thor. Now, he did say that he loves Chris Hemsworth. He said he loves working for them now. But overall, he was like, this really wasn't on my vision board for my career moving forward. I never saw this being my thing. But you know what? Still, Ragnarok, one of the best Marvel movies, I would say, and the best Thor movie. Now, Love and Thunder.
Everybody agrees with you.
Not the best movie, Love and Thunder. It was all right. I enjoyed it. It was all right. But
my favorite.
I mean, but really, Love and Thunder?
I like garbage films, Brian. What do you want from me?
I guess we've had that discussion for like the past hour or so. But everything he touches is great. Like Rachel said, I agree. He does great work. And honestly, even Love and Thunder still wasn't bad. It wasn't the best, but it still wasn't bad. It wasn't Ragnarok. But I still think that, I mean, I don't know why you say this now. Why do you say this now? Like, Ron, you've done 2 movies. I guess they're talking about Thor 5 and he's not coming back to direct it. So maybe that's why. But like, why be like, yeah, I never want to do this before? Because he has great relationships. Is that the best thing to do as a director moving forward from somebody be like, I would do this for money?
Yeah. I mean,
Be honest.
Be honest, Ron. Yeah, give it to us.
Honesty is the
that's what it comes
brand.
down to is, the money. It's just, I'm not surprised by that. I don't think there's going to be repercussions for that.
Yeah, if they wanted him, they would probably just hire him again for another one, right? They wouldn't care, would they?
They wouldn't care. Just like the Scream franchise really didn't care that Neve Campbell decided not to do it, which I thought was an atrocity because I think she owed it to her fans, but whatever. She could come back in the next one if she wanted to. I guarantee it.
She'll always be my
But
screen.
you think she would?
I don't think she would, unless she needs the money.
Well, now this new
it's like
Scream
Courtney
movie,
Cox came back. It's just like,
it's
that's
true.
huge.
But Ron, they lost 2 cast members from that new Scream movie. Jenna Ortega walked away, and her sister. They fired the sister from it. So, you think that she would come back to that franchise now? They might pay her.
Jenna Ortega walked away.
Yeah, she walked away. She said because of the strikes, she said she has to do Wednesday, so she can't make it happen. So she literally was like, "I'm not doing this." And that was right after they had fired her sister played her sister on the show. So I don't know if it had to do anything with that, but she said it was scheduling. So she's gone. So yeah, 2 of the big cast members are gone from the reboot. So Neve might have to come back. They might have to pay her like a truckload of money and bring her back.
That's all it is. That's all it is. There's a number that she would say yes to. That's all it is.
And we're back to the money, Ron. We're back to the money.
That's
right?
what it is.
That's the primary theme.
Listen to the money. Listen to the money talks, right? So
Yep.
I think that you're probably right though, Ron. Like Taika, he's putting it out there now. He's joking. Smartless. It's a comedy podcast. They're having a good time. They're just joking around the whole time. So maybe he's putting that out there now.
Picture, man.
But to me, hey man, I found my pictures. It's one of my favorite things. But I think for him, yeah, it was about the money. But he can move on, do something else. Mike, do you think that Taika will be okay? Are you shocked that it was about the money for him?
Am I shocked that it was about the money? No, not at all. Let me start with saying, hey, Kato, great. Your comic books, you're reading the extended universe stuff. I'm about it. Pop in if Sean and I end up doing a separate podcast about that kind of stuff.
Which we're developing that actively. We'll get to it.
Yeah. We'll get that up on the Patreon. As special co-host, let me keep this very concise. Okay, Taika Waititi. Newsflash. Artist takes job to feed his kids. Okay, that's not shocking. But he didn't want it, which meant he wasn't precious with the IP. He was just a talented
Precious.
guy with no real
Precious.
attachment to the project. This is the kind of mix-up that comes with good art in comics and movies, because he's not trying to optimize, because he's fresh to the project. Optimizing the project to make sense to every audience, to tell every connecting storyline, to be optimally marketable. That's how you make a commodity, not a piece of art. And people are still looking for art in the theater, and the numbers reflect that of the audience, something that speaks to their human experience. I'm sure commercialism will kill art completely dead eventually, but we're not there yet. So no, Brian, I'm not surprised he took this job for the money. I'm happy he did, though, because we gave power to somebody that didn't want power. And that's great. That's the best way to dish out power.
I heard he was great on set too. I had some friends one of my friends actually doubled for for what's the female Thor version name? It's not.
I don't know. Who are you talking about?
What Mighty
No,
Thor.
I'm not
Mighty
good with
Thor
Marvel
is her
shit.
name, right?
Okay.
Mighty Thor. He doubled for Mighty Thor, and she was like, he was phenomenal. He was like really cool to her. And you're right, Mike. Maybe sometimes the people that don't want the job should get the job more often, especially in a universe of Marvel and Disney where all they do is
Mix
worry
it up.
about money.
Mix it up.
Money.
I think I'm consistent with that. Like, I know the money has to follow the numbers, basically, but you need to breathe fresh air. Is hard to quantify in numbers, I think. So pretty soon, though, the AI is getting really good. They'll be able to quantify that soon enough.
Eventually, they'll just take over the world. That's what happens, right? Eventually, isn't that how it's written everywhere, right? They
It's
eventually
going to be
take over.
great. I for one, welcome
we're gonna love
new
our
robot
overlords. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I'm so excited. Oh, here they come again. They're coming for me. Anyway, speaking about money, speaking about Disney, speaking about Marvel, that kind of leads me to something that's been probably not good for them recently, because their box office numbers have been not doing well. And now Wish came out, which is right up their forefront. We're getting an animated movie coming out. It's going to be the big thing, make lots of money, but did it make lots of money? It did not. And that leads me to our featured story of the night. Come on, let's get this. Now, as we talked about, of course, Disney, it's all about the money, listen to the money, all that, So when it comes to them, though, they had Wish come out. So if you haven't heard of Wish, I guarantee you had to have heard of Wish. But Wish is their new animated movie, of course, Wish Upon a Star, Make Your Dreams Come True. We all know the whole spiel from Disney from back in the day. So they made this animated movie. Chris Pine's in it too, playing Prince Charming. It was an animated musical fable that was going to make a lot of money for Disney, because this year has kind of sucked. The one that's made the most money for them has been Guardians recently. Guardians 3 made $845 million. Everything else has been barely making its money, if not for them. I mean, Indiana Jones didn't do well, and I thought that was a good movie, but again, it didn't do well. People, I guess, didn't want to see it. Look at the Marvels. Look at The Haunted Mansion came out. That was like a fart in the wind too. I actually like that movie as well. Ant-Man Quantumania, I worked on that. I love that movie. Didn't do as well as they wanted to make. And then Wish came out, and this is the Disney thing. It's going to be a good thing for us this year. And it made $30 million. $31.7 million over 5 days of the Thanksgiving weekend, which usually $30 million is a good opening thing, $30 million. We hope they're probably hoping to make $150 million opening weekend. They made 31.7 over 5 days. And Disney, $200 million on production a lot of times, $100 million on all of their marketing. That's a staple for them. Of course, this didn't cost that much, but still animated. It costs a lot of money. You're paying a lot of animators. All their animators have been fighting them. It's been a big thing for Disney. Everyone's been trash talking Bob Iger online because of all of the strike stuff. Disney is in a spot right now where I feel like people just want to hate on them because they know the inner politics and they don't like it. And they did the best when they had the MCU with the Endgame and all. That was when they were killing it. And now they're spending the same amount of money and not making the return. Talking about cutting everything up at Disney Plus. Bob Iger, we talked about that. Cutting a bunch of productions there. Only focus on features. So is Disney in trouble? That's the question today. Is Disney in trouble? We see something like Wish, which should be Wish upon a star. That should be something that makes money for them, and it's not. Ron, their formula has worked for years. Do you think Disney is finally in trouble and people are seeing them for who they really are? Or do you think that this is just a time because of the strikes, because of COVID stuff, people are not going to theaters like they used to still? How do you feel about this?
You know what? I think this is going to be for a while. We're still in the backlash of the strikes. And like we talked about last week with publicity and stuff like that, it's just not happening. And this is still part of that. It's only been a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So that is part of it. But a $30 million opening for 5 days is not good. I think the formula is tired. And I don't think Disney is keeping up with the times of things. And I think that's the main problem. Is Disney going to be in trouble? They're not going to be in trouble. They're not going to see things like they used to. But you know what? Most companies and people are not seeing things like they used to. So the fact that it's hitting Disney.
Yeah. Do you think that Bob Iger is worried at all? Probably not.
No. What was his bonus? 350.
He got 20 million before. That was 20 million.
It was just, it was absurd what he got. And it's just, is he worried? No, he doesn't. But, yeah.
But his job, Ron, is to come in there and clean house and fix everything. That's what they said. He's coming in there because when they got rid of Chapek, that was a whole thing that Disney was on the wrong track, right? We got to bring the golden boy, Bob Iger, back. And it's not, it takes time to fix something that's broken, right?
It does. But people don't have time. People don't want to have time. It's like, I always was wondering why a company would spend all this money to put out a show, a series. And NBC was notorious for this. They'd air it 3 times. It didn't perform. Cut. Gone. 3
See you later.
times. That's an hour and a half of sitcom. It's like, how can anybody mesh? So it's just way too cutthroat. Maybe this is going to slow things down.
It might slow it down, and they might look at things differently now from a production standpoint, how they're going to make things, what they're going to spend. And after like a whole year of again, they've lost a lot because of the strikes. They lost a lot because people are not going to theaters. People are mad at them. People have been canceling Disney Plus. Hence why they raise their rates just like Apple. Everybody's raising their rates. Hey, Jacob, do you think they're in trouble? Do you agree with Ron? They'll be okay at the end of the day? Or do you think that maybe Disney needs to start looking at their fan base and looking at their box office numbers and maybe change their game a little bit?
Pass.
No.
He's like, I'm going to work for Disney tomorrow, so I can't talk about this anymore.
That's actually
no burning bridges for KJ.
How they roll. Yeah, I burn bridges all the time. I don't give a fuck about Disney. I've worked for Disney. It's the same shit with everything that you see happening. They're no different than remakes. They're just trying to capitalize on stuff that is not successful, and they keep throwing money at it. They're no different than Universal buying up the Exorcist franchise and failing horribly. They're just doing $100
million.
Yeah, they're just doing it with their own franchise, and it's like I get the idea and the concept. It's clever, but like, where was the execution in it? And also, I don't feel that these big productions give things a chance. Like Ron was saying with sitcoms, you have these 3 viewings and they're going, all the good shows out there, all the good films out there, they don't get that promotion time. They don't get the viewing time. They get put out there. It has a slow return and it gets shut down. But look at this 10, 15 years later, it's a cult smash. It's made tons of revenue in streaming and tons of revenue in physical form, people buying copies of it. So like, maybe give something a chance, maybe wait a little bit. Also, here's a thought. When you're doing an animation, maybe don't invest $200 million into it.
Right.
Just saying.
And that's what it was. It literally was a $200 million budget for this animated movie.
How much of that was spent on prime Hollywood talent instead of voice actors that would have done a better job?
Well,
right there, Mike. Right there, you said it.
20 producers.
And that's a big problem too. It's like,
also, you know where they failed? They hired the wrong Chris. They hired the wrong Chris. They needed Pratt. They needed Pratt. We know it's all about Pratt.
Keep him in the closet. That's the best part about this project is that the Chris they chose was not Pratt.
It was not Pratt. That was their first fuck up. Was they didn't hire the Pratt. They should have hired Pratt.
I think he's too busy being Garfield right now. He's too busy being Garfield.
He's too busy dominating the voice acting world because people are tired of his face, but not his voice.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I went there.
How much can one man do? How much can he do? Like I said, he's Mario, he's Garfield, he's
not a wish upon a star, though.
This is three afternoons of work, Brian. I mean, come on,
it's
voice
true.
acting.
So Mike, look at the voiceover world, because again, you're very much involved with that too, working for Pocket FM. What do you think about this? Do you think that maybe Disney needs to look at their paychecks, and maybe we should start paying new voice talent to come forward as opposed to paying the big paychecks? Do you think that's their problem, or do you think it's just across the board a managing problem why they're not doing that well?
Brian,
or could be something else.
Thanks for the Pocket FM nod. I am on a new project. I don't know the title of the project yet. I'm waiting for it, so I'll let you guys know once it gets started. If it's something I can be proud of. If it's not something I can be proud of, then I'm going to hide in my clamshell.
I'm going back too, Mike. I'm going back too. They called me,
which is where I go to, which is where I am right now. Actually, that's why that explains the darkness behind me.
You created your own void.
I wrote a damn article about Wish, like, just because it's based on the Disney song "When You Wish Upon a Star" from Pinocchio, which is crazy, but it's full of all kinds of like traditional, esoteric, magical doctrine, like, which is my shit. I love to read old papyrus. You guys know that stuff, so I won't get into that. What I will get into is a review that I read from Wendy Ide at the Observer in the UK. Okay,
she knows her shit.
All right.
Maybe this shit made sense to me. She said, Disney celebrates its centenary with a grimly cynical marketing exercise wrapped in a sparkly cloak of an escapist animated fairy tale. And it's the same issue. Shit. Like, I think that's pretty savage. Like,
she burned that bridge.
Very savage, Mike.
you gotta give.
Burn should be on cruise control.
A hot take for the night is her.
That's a great idea. You gotta give money to the talent. You gotta follow the talent, right?
Yes.
Not follow the money. Like,
right.
And I mean, I don't know how much we can continue to say that, but like it also like.
Well, we continue to say it because they continue to do it. That's what they've been doing. They just throw money at it instead of it's supposed to be fucking art. Like $30 million would be a huge success if it was 1997.
Huge. We're at,
and also
we're at a crisis
they made
point,
$30 million.
with
They could have spent that easily on this fucking film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
look at even the Exorcist
point where the culture is getting sick of it. And again, I don't know how long this. Ron, you might have insight into this, like how long the cultural cycle is, because clothes seem to redo it every like 20, 22, 25 years. Like maybe people like the commercialism thing and then get sick of the commercialism thing with some sort of regularity. Because based on this kind of stuff, like it seems like we're sick of just the glamour. Like give us some human interest, right?
Oh, I agree. I don't know any statistics is what you were, I think, originally asking me.
Just thoughts, just perceptions, like how you feel about that.
I agree with you. I was thinking of what I was going to say in my head, so I missed kind of the last of what you
no,
were saying.
No. Sorry. Go for what you were thinking.
Okay, dead air.
In there, Ron.
Nope, all good.
There's a certain familiarity with things like that, and people do, especially in hard times, people love familiarity. And part of what we were talking about a little bit earlier with spending money on talent, I think that's necessary, because I think so many of our entertainment pictures and or animation runs on talent. People are going to flock to the theater to see Julia Roberts. They're not going to flock to the theater to see, Julia Hempsdale. They're just not. So you almost are guaranteed something with that. So you have to pay for that. I think it's the same with voice actors in animation. You can hear people in the theater. They're like, "Oh my God, that's so-and-so. Oh my God, that's so-and-so." Like they know that person.
Eat it up.
And so they feel a part of it. So I do think that's important. Yeah, it's just I don't think it's fair for voice actors because when I was looking into voice and I was taking voice classes, everything was going at that time. Everything was going to celebrities, and you would read copy, and it would be like, "Read this like so and so," and it's just like, well, why don't you just get so and so? And that's what they do, you know. So I've
Give
always
us your best
found-
Sam Jackson. Give us your best Christopher Walken. Give us your best. You know what I mean? They try to do that all the time.
Exactly. You know. So
Just
yeah,
hire them.
It's just,
You know,
it's just,
another
but it's
issue-
wild.
I'm sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
No, you get in there, K. Jacob. You tell
I'll
them what's
say,
up.
I think another issue,
Yeah.
and I, as much as I love, shitting on the people who hire me, I also have to say,
So smart.
so smart,
So
I know.
smart,
Um,
right?
I still have to say, though, a lot of the responsibility comes down to the movie theater experience itself. I don't know if you guys have been to a movie recently, but for just one person, just to get in the door, I paid for a fucking matinee at 11 in the morning to go see Killers of the Flower Moon. Excellent movie with my girlfriend for her birthday. I'm a great boyfriend. For me and her both, I ended up paying $25 a piece for a fucking matinee. A matinee. I understand that the chairs are really cool and they recline, and you get that comfortable room and like popcorn itself,
Shenanigans.
soda itself. I end up spending another $50 just to get 2 hot dogs, a big bucket of popcorn, and a fucking icy. Like, it's insane. It's so expensive. If my kid wants to watch Wish Upon the Star, we'll watch it here at the house because he's going to want to run around with his clothes off and eat popcorn. I can't do that at the movie theater, and I damn sure ain't paying $50 for him to do that. I'll just sit here at the house where he's comfortable, and I can pause the movie so he can go to the bathroom and not miss it. Same for me. Like, it's just cheaper now and easier to just wait for it to hit streaming. And I guarantee you, a lot of these films that are failing, they're probably doing really well once they go to streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know, for example, Killers of the Flower Moon is doing really well for the theater. And I know as soon as it goes to Apple TV, it's going to do even better. Because they're marketing it right. And they're being patient. And they're like, yeah, we know it's getting views and all this. It may not be super high up there, but it's doing well. Other movies are like that too, where it's like, yeah, it's not doing that great, but then they'll immediately release it on streaming and it'll skyrocket. It'll go right up because people are more comfortable and can actually afford to sit in their fucking living room and eat popcorn that they buy for like $3 and drink all the soda they want from their own house.
Don't pay $3 for home popcorn.
It's Kirkland. It's like a box of 50 packages. For $3.
Thank you.
Come on, man.
That's why at this point, that's why you have to go buy the movie passes. You have to buy the Regal AMC pass.
Are a fucking ripoff.
They are. I mean, honestly, it's like $22 a month,
and you have to spend so much.
They have to sign you up for 3 months. Going from there, then after that, you can quit. So like lock you in for 3 months. Better buy it when you know there's a lot of movies coming out. You're gonna go see it.
Ridiculous.
I mean, I do it for the show, and I go, but I tell you what, there's a lot of months they get my $20 for like nothing, because I don't see a movie. So it's a racket what it's become. They make their money on the actual popcorn.
They're closing theaters though, right? Is the pricing? What is the pricing model reflective of? Is it reflective of the fact that people aren't going to the theater?
Regal bought ArcLight in Sherman Oaks.
Squeeze it out of the few people that are still going. That sucks.
Yeah, they're massive.
Let's bring back
there's
the movie
massive
experience.
conglomerate film studios like AMC, Cinemark, and Regal that are taking over all these like affordable, low budget movie theaters. Like you said, ArcLight. I know back home from Louisiana, we had other theaters that were like, we used to have a dollar cinema, which was great. Like I went and saw in the 90s, I went with my dad a year later to see Anaconda because things used to come out a lot slower back in the day to DVD or video.
Yeah.
And so like I went and saw Anaconda for $1 with my dad, and it was to this day the greatest film experience of my life. It was such a wonderful time. My dad probably in total spent $10 that day. That's including gas in the car, taking me for pizza, eating popcorn at the theater, spending 2 hours to watch fucking Anaconda, falling in love with Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube. It was fucking great. Like I love that shit. I'm a fucking man. But like that experience, you don't see theaters like that. Like there's no dollar cinemas. I'll settle at this point for a $10 cinema. I'll settle for that. And I'll go see a movie that's been out, and it can even still be streaming. I'll go see a movie that's been out for 3 months just because I can have the theater. I want the theater experience. I really do.
That's the thing. Like,
it's a good experience.
We're at risk of losing, I think, what the actual medium is, and the actual medium. I say actual, like that's a no good Scotsman cognitive bias, no true Scotsman.
Mike.
But
that Scotsman bias.
We want to see them in the theater. There's no interruptions. You've got this whole collective vibe of being in a room full of people that are laughing or people that are crying. Like it
Or
affects
talking
the
to each other.
experience. It affects the
Even the annoying shit's still cool.
throwing popcorn
But
at the
sometimes it's
screen.
great
Like,
because you say, "Oh shit," and then someone laughs behind you, like, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? So it is supposed to be.
it's not a perfect medium, but
It's not.
You know, when even a mediocre theater experience, and best when it's good, like it's different. It's not the same as all the distractions that you have on your couch, right?
And also, when the movie trailers start, it should just be movie trailers. I don't want to sit through TV commercials
You don't want Nicole
before my
Kidman?
movie
You don't want Nicole
starts.
Kidman giving
Like,
you a
I
trailer
don't need
about
a
AMC?
commercial for fucking Grey
Damn, skip it.
Poupon when I'm about to watch a movie. Like, you started, I already watched the trailer for Scream 7. Why are you now showing me a fucking TV commercial for a Honda Kia? Like, I don't fucking
Right.
care.
I also don't
I
like
think that's
brands,
pissing
but,
people
you know,
off.
like-
15 trailers. I don't like that. It's just-
Yeah.
I know, you're right, Ron.
Like 15 minutes before the movie starts, give me 5 solid, awesome trailers. If I'm at a horror movie, I want 5 solid red band trailers.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I need. You got 15 minutes to get your shit and watch your movie. Because in 15 minutes, that movie starts. And during that 15 minutes, it's solid trailer action. No fucking car commercials. No fucking stupid, like, check out your iPhone commercial. And I'm not talking about, like, to shut your iPhones off and shut your cell phones off. I'm talking, like, actual commercials that I can go watch on TV.
Yep.
Like, I see that shit. And it's 30 minutes.
Yes,
30
it's 30,
minutes.
30.
Like, my movie was supposed to start at 11:30. That bitch goes on at 12:05. That's
That's
35
That's a long
minutes.
time. That's a long time.
That's a
And then they
long-
have
late.
the theaters have their own commercials afterwards. I know Regal plays the same commercial. AMC has the Nicole Kidman Part 2. You know what I mean? They have those, and it's like we don't want 35. I mean, that's
I
like
don't
a thing we all
mind.
fight about. Like that's too long for. I mean, I love trailers. I love them, but it's too long.
Yeah.
Like, let me know when a movie's gonna start because I have no idea. Then you go to a matinee, they give you like 15. And it fucks everything up because you expect 30. So like, make it a standard and call it a day in theaters. Maybe that'll help. I don't know, but right now. Theaters have not been doing well. I don't want them to go out of business. I love them. I saw Cato say something about drive-in theaters. I love drive-in theaters.
Drive-in theaters
I wish
are
we had more of those.
fantastic.
I thought they were
Go
going to
out
come
to
back
Paramount if you live in
after
the Los
COVID.
Angeles area.
Well, COVID brought some of them back, which is great. But, you know, we don't have what we used to have when I wish we had more. But I think that overall Disney has a problem that it comes down to they've been just worried about money for too long. They spend too much. They don't pay their people enough sometimes.
Disney.
Sucks
Why are they
for how much you
worried?
spend. They're not worried. They're not worried. We're talking, but they're not worried, K. Jacob. They're not worried.
I know.
Bob Iger knew we were going to sign that fucking deal for the SAG thing. He's like, he didn't care. He's like, he wants us to go back to work, and they'll find ways to exploit people. It happens every contract. That is what it is. That's the business, and they're always going to make their dollar at the end of the day, and we're always going to have a job, hopefully. And if we do, and they make their dollar, they'll keep us around. When we stop making a dollar for them, they'll get rid of us. But until then, hopefully the business does not change, and hopefully we still get to work, and hopefully that it's a generation where everybody, we can still go to theaters, have a good time, have that communicative experience, and we just enjoy cinema, and it doesn't go to the wayside of AI. But overall, I have no idea what the future will bring. I just know Disney needs to figure their shit out.
Yeah. Get it
Anyways,
together.
everybody, thank you so much for being on Cruise Control tonight. Appreciate you all for being here. Happy Monday. It's been a great show. We want to, we're a little bit over. We know Mondays are usually tighter, so we try to lock it up a little bit. As Mike says, lock it up. Thank you so much for being here. Kate Jacob, before we go, I know you changed your format for IPA sessions. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you right now, because I know you're changing up. I appreciate you being here, by the way. But yeah, here's some spoilers because you're on Cruise Control. All we do is talk spoilers. I mean, we don't hold back. So tell the world about your show, IPA Sessions Podcast. What's going on with you now?
First and foremost, thank you so much, Brian. Thank you, Ronald. And thank you to the lovely, beautiful co-host, Mike Casey.
Lovely.
I really appreciate you guys bringing me in. IPA Sessions. We just wrapped up our second season. The last episode is out right now. It came out during the Thanksgiving break. Go do yourself a favor. Check it out. It's my good friend, Nicola Bruchery. And before her, I released a Thanksgiving special with my good friends from Cinema D'Amore, Justin, Chuck, and Lexi. Go check out that fun conversation. But coming in 2024, when season 3 starts for IPA Sessions, we will be on video format. You'll see me in all my beauty, just like you're seeing right now, and you'll get to see all the amazing artists that I have coming on. You'll get to see us talking on YouTube, and of course, we'll still have audio for you guys on your audio podcast platforms. And my TikTok videos will be so much better now. But do yourself a favor, 2024, around February, season 3 of IPA will start off, and I will be the first guest. Do a little special, something special. And there might be something in the works for Christmas. So just keep your eyes out for that. But everything is going to be video now. IPA has gone video. Video
is that
killed
like
the podcast star.
Are you gonna be AIing yourself here, K. Jacob? What's going on? Like, I guess we have to wait and see.
I'm working on my lighting. I've got the theme. I've got my pink. I'm good to go.
That's for the pure imagination out there.
Right.
Excited for you, K. Jacob. Welcome to the video world. Hope it goes well. I know it will. I know it'll be good for you. I mean, welcome to
like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Make it happen. Kato, thank you for being here too. Ron, thank you so much for being here on Cruise Control, man. Appreciate you on a Monday. It's so good to have you back. Great conversations, great information as always, bringing forward to our fans out here. We appreciate you, man. I hope you had a good time tonight.
Great show. I'm
sorry, I love what Rachel said.
Bye, guys.
In hats and
Brian.
She made that
it is guys in hats. It should be called guys in hats. That's kind of a good. I should have worn my hat today. I didn't wear I haven't worn my hat in a second. I'm letting that hair fly. I'm sorry. I missed the memo. Mr. Mike Casey, thank you so much for being my lovely co-host tonight. I appreciate you as always, our resident intellectual himself.
Every time you say it.
Lovely, beautiful co-host.
Oh, look at this! My mom's hopping in for the very end of the show.
Mama.
Let's give okay. So my plug moment, I can plug to the Vogue Theater in lovely Manistee, Michigan, little tourist town. And the Vogue Theater was famously renovated by Michigan's own Michael Moore a few years ago.
It's true.
If you want to see if you want to see some movies in a classical theater going environment in Manistee, Michigan, check out the Vogue.
Check out the Vogue. Appreciate that, Mike. And Ron, before we go to just like what's your Instagram one more time? I'm going to do the 3 Gs. Tell people about 3 Gs before we take off fast.
3 Gs, what you're grateful for, what's good about you, and what your goals are for the day. Start out every morning with it. You'll have a good day.
Hell yeah.
I love that. Ron. I love it so much. Would you call yourself a micro influencer? I love that too. That's awesome.
I'm a micro influencer. Yes.
Yeah, he is.
It's a great thing. But to everybody out there from us, thank you so much for being here on a Monday. Appreciate my guests as always. Happy Monday. We got a lot of stuff happening for the holidays.
Monday.
It's gonna be great, guys. The holiday season is upon us. We gotta reach out and care about each other a little bit more right now because it's that time to get your gingerbread lattes or peppermint lattes at Starbucks.
Get ready for this, Mom. If you haven't seen the end of the show before,
get ready. But anyways, everybody, appreciate you as always. Happy Monday, and until next time, as we always say, please like and subscribe. Join our Patreon if you can, and as always. Tell your friends, your family, your uncles, your aunts, your grandmas, great-grandpas, all the grandmas and grandpas from all the past, future versions of yourself you saw one day but you didn't see again because it was a future part in a fucking incremental universe that was out of nowhere. It was a multiverse, and you were there one time and you had 5 grandpas, now you only have 2. Tell them to subscribe because that universal subscribe to bring to our universe. We'll all be together. It'd be amazing. You also have all the cats and the dogs and the multiversal aliens that came down from Xenu and then came back to us and they found Tom Cruise and became best friends with him. Now subscribe, but you haven't subscribed. I have no idea why not. Because of course, if they can do it, and the aliens from the multiverse 557654321 did it, you can subscribe. Continue on, HMChill. I see you. Subscribe as always. So everybody out there, because if you don't subscribe, never get where we're at be, because we're gonna keep growing every day. We are at 782 subscribers. Oh my God,
thanks,
it's amazing.
Guys. You make it happen.
Might have gone up before this whole thing, the show went on, but. It's all because of you. Thank you for being here live on the show. We appreciate you. Spread the word, spread the love. Tell people why you're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for Cruise Control. And we'll be back on Wednesday for our Hump Day edition with Mr. Mike Casey again and our resident comic book man himself, Mr. Sean Sutherland, back again. But anyways, until everybody, enjoy the rest of your Monday. And until Wednesday, see ya.
Yeah.